What's going on, guys? World of YouTube, people, faces, not faces, microphone. All right, let's talk about something. Here's your warning. Get Good is not a series about how to get amazingly good in 5 seconds or 10 rules or whatever. This is literally a series about showing you the dedication it takes to get good at a game. This episode includes the MozambiqueHere. So this is everyone's favorite gun in the game, I know, because it's the best. Here, what I'm doing is I'm actually looking at the wall and testing recoil pattern. Every single gun, we're going to go through recoil pattern, how to move with it, how to shoot with it, how to control all of that good stuff. And I'm just kind of learning and soaking in everything that I can about this game to try and become the best that I can at it, to get good, if you will. One thing that I noticed here while trying to test the recoil pattern, when you ADS, it does have a slight recoil, as you can see on that one on the left. It goes up slightly, but when you ADS, it does tighten the grouping on the shot from a hip fire. So if you're further away, ADS with the gun. If you're up close, don't worry too much about ADSing. That's a problem that I have a lot, is I ADS when I'm right in your face, and I tend to miss a few bullets that I wouldn't probably miss if I hip fired. I just don't feel super comfortable with my hip firing, so that's what I'm working on through this series as well, is trying to force myself into situations where I don't feel comfortable now because I'm in the firing range, and that's the safe place to do it versus trying to do it in real world scenarios in the game. I'm also forcing myself, as you will see through this, to use sights that I'm not comfortable with. Versus the first episode of the P2020, I just grabbed, you know, the 1x HCOG and then went through all of the sights. You probably won't see me playing with the 1x HCOG just because I'm so comfortable with that sight already. And I'm not comfortable at all with the 1x hollow. Here, I'm just trying to figure out, get snapping down and get comfortable with this gun enough to where I can go into the gauntlet, which will be the second half of this video, and I'll explain that later. Here I'm doing a little bit of crazy movement, trying to get into the feel of moving around, grappling, ziplining, whatever, just trying to get a feel for being in a real game where you're not going to be sitting still potato aiming at bots that sit still and don't shoot back. You're going to be fighting actual players that can move and think and shoot back. So I'm just trying to get used to moving around, sliding, jumping, grabbling, zipping, any type of movement that might happen, sliding, jumping. One thing that a lot of YouTubers will tell you is when you're trying to fight somebody, just strafe, crouch strafe, get good at that, which is it's not necessarily bad. I'm not trying to knock anybody, but on top of doing all of that, you should be getting good or practicing to get good at jumping and firing as well, because jumping does screw with your aim a lot. And if you're somebody like me that plays with paddles, or you play claw, and it's very easy for you to still keep your thumb on the aim analog stick and jump, it's going to give you a huge advantage to being able to jump around and still hit the majority of your shots. If you may not know this, but PC, it's very easy to jump, aim, and shoot at the same time, because you have one hand doing all your movement and you're jumping, crouching, strafing, and another hand doing mouse and doing aim and all of that. Now some of them do put their jump on the scroll wheel just so they're able to B-hop or whatever. That doesn't necessarily apply to console. You can bunny hop, but it's not as effective on controller as it is on mouse and keyboard. So throughout the course of this, and we'll actually talk about it at the end when I go over the recap of the statistics, this is actually the second time I had to record this episode. I recorded almost 2.5 hours last night, just to find out that for some reason the footage all got corrupted, and I had to put together another quick 30-minute well, actually I kept it under 30 minutes because of frame rate drop, and you'll see a little bit of it here and there where I might have missed it in editing. That it's just a compilation of everything that I kind of learned last night, which I definitely feel a lot more confident with the Mozambique now, to where initially this gun, if I was running around and spamming pickup, because you know when you first drop in, you're running around and just trying to pick up everything you can. If I noticed that I picked up a Mozambique, I would go into my inventory and actively drop the Mozambique versus using it to fight. And that's a big no-no, because in battle royales where RNG is god and you may not find anything other than Mozambique, it's better to have a gun and be able to put damage in, which you'll see here from like mid-range. I can hit full spread 40, 45 shot damage, and imagine that's a headshot. I believe it's multiplied by 1.25 or something like that, so it's like 50. I'm just gonna estimate from 55 to 60 damage, so probably about 57, 58 damage for a headshot at mid-range with a shotgun is fucking ridiculous. Now imagine you get hammer point on this thing, because I do have hammer point here and they don't have shields. That shit does 101 damage or more from one shot, and if they don't have a body, they get bodied. That's ridiculous. Like, I have slept on this gun, and a lot of people I know sleep on it, and I'm not going to say, oh, it's a god tier gun and oh, it's just this miraculous miracle of look what I found. No, it's just the gun is still very weak because of the mag size and the reload time. I mean, I have a purple shotgun bolt. Yeah, I can't think. Purple shotgun bolt on, and it still is a good 3 to 5 seconds to reload this thing. I mean, look, click, 2, 3. Yeah, it's about 3 seconds to reload this thing. That's ridiculous. I don't know what else to say. That's just, how are you supposed to make that a viable gun, apart from the fact that it does punch like a donkey? When you get that hammer point round on it, it punches like a donkey, and that's crazy to me that I have slept on this for so long that it's ridiculous. What's going on, guys? Love YouTube. I'm Ava Marie. And so yeah, it is just it's crazy the amount of damage you can output. But as I was saying, the mag size still makes it kind of like, if they tuned it a little better, I think maybe brought the damage down a little bit and brought the mag size up from 3 to maybe 5 to keep in line with the Peacekeeper, it would be a more viable weapon, because I mean, it still fires faster than the Peacekeeper, which is nice, but if you brought the damage down to like, I don't even know, 30, 35 damage per shot body, and then brought the mag size up, maybe slowed the time in between shots down just a little bit, just to tune it enough to where it becomes more viable. Because if I had to choose between this and any other gun in the game, I would still choose any other gun in the game, just because if you miss one shot out of those 3, you're done. Like, it does 45 per shot unless you hit a headshot. So if you hit 2 body shots, that's 90 damage. Even somebody without a shield is still alive, and they have the chance to fry you. So you miss one shot and they unload a full clip and you're done. To me, that just doesn't feel viable. So here, what I'm working on doing is, one thing I'm very good at is when I'm running through wherever and I get surprised, I turn on people really quick, and I'm pretty accurate at snapping to them. So here I'm just working on, okay, I'm facing away and I get shot in the back, and then I turn around and try to snap and get on target as quick as possible and kill. Because it's a lot of times when I turn, I will crouch as I'm turning, so they're frying me in the back, or they're lasering me in the back. You know, they hit a couple of bullets or whatever, and they think, oh, I'm just gonna fry this guy because I got the jump on him. But I turn around and crouch, and they tend to miss their next few shots, and that gives me a chance to laser them. Now, if I don't miss shots, I will kill them. If I do miss shots and I choke for whatever reason, then I'm SOL on that one, unfortunately. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and hop into the gauntlet. Now, the gauntlet is me versus bots. How this works is you get a gold shield, a gold helm, and a gold knock. Gold backpack, obviously, just so you can carry enough ammo to keep playing. One wave equals killing 9 bots. So 3 bots spawn up every round in the wave. Once you get 3 rounds, you can fully heal. What I ended up doing was going with 1 shield bat and 1 health kit, 1 med kit, because 2 and 2 was just too OP and it was too easy to not die and I could just play forever. I did end up doing this last night. What I do is the max is 10 waves, so that's, you know, 3 times or 9 times 10, sorry, so 90 enemies, right? Yeah, 9 times 10 is 90. I can do math. So I killed 90 of them last night, and then I did about 3 to 4 waves here until I died. I was just trying to play a little more aggressively here, and it kind of shows because I ended up dying after I think 4 waves here. So at the end of this, I will show you the statistical summary of all the bullets I fired, the amount of time I spent recording, and just getting good with this gun, and then the amount of bots that I killed. I didn't keep track of the amount of times I died because I believe here I died recording this morning. I died 3 times, I want to say, and I died once last night, so 4 times in total. But this just shows you, this just gives you a little closer to real world scenario with people firing back at you, how well you can handle the gun. It also kind of, without being cheeky and sitting on head glitches, because the bots don't really notice you on head glitches, it's a little cheap, and I found that out last night while I was playing through all these waves, that if I sat on a head glitch, it was super easy to not die. And the whole point of this is to make it somewhat challenging, or to make it challenging and get good with the gun. So you'll see me flying into bots' faces, trying hip fires, taking a lot of damage. The only time I try to go into cover is if I need to heal, or if like I need to reload my gun. Then will pop into cover. You see me here die, wah, 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 wah. And then I gotta run back down and reset. So you'll see me here just kind of grapple over and reset, grab my guns and whatnot. But if you guys want to try this out, you can actually do it. Just do what I'm doing. Pick whatever guns you want. You don't have to pick the same gun. I'm just, the title of this episode is the Mozambique. So what I'm doing is getting good with the Mozambique. And so that's what I'll have is Mozambique. And then I switch this P2020 over to a Mozambique as well after I realize, oh, I have a P2020 in my hand still. The bots were being kind of douchey because I was trying to reset and they don't like know because it's a bot. So I had to kill this guy off just to start the wave again. So I killed him off. Then I'm like, oh, I have a P2020. Let me wait a minute. Let me swap this over to the Mozambique real quick. And then I reset and start again. So if you guys want to do this, all you have to do is the Easter egg where the bots come to life. You spawn in, spawn in as Pathfinder. Sorry. Spawn in as Pathfinder. You drop your P2020 in the stack of ammo you have. You go to the very end tunnel, grapple up to the little ledge that's in the middle there, stare straight at the ground and crouch, and switch to any other legend. After you do, you'll hear like a kerchunk. That means you did it. Jump down, and then you can switch to whatever legend you want, and the bots will come to life. They spawn, every time you kill all 3 of them, they spawn up 3 more. And it's randomized, so you may get a white, a blue, or a purple. White has the R3, the blue has the PK, and the purple has nailed that grapple, by the way. The purple has the L star. And then you just go ham. Try whatever you want. Try out your guns, try out different attachments. It's really good because it gets you comfortable with using a weapon that maybe you never used before. Episode 1 was the P2020, and I rarely ever use that. Ever. Probably like 2% of the time that I've played this game have I ever touched the P2020, let alone used it. And the Mozambique, that's probably even less. That's probably like 0.01%. This is me resetting after a wave. So after you kill 9 enemies, you can set it to whatever amount of enemies you want, however many rounds you want of 3 enemies. You go up with a Phoenix kit and you get the full reheal of shields and health without having to waste your 1 shield, 1 med kit. And then I armor swap here because I'm literally in the middle of resetting and they're attacking me. Bots, what can you do, right? So all I'm gonna do here is continue on to fighting these bots. Trying not to stay on a head glitch here because I could have killed that guy with a head glitch and not taken any damage, but I'm also trying to make it a little challenging and get that heart pumping, you know, because when you're fighting bots, it's like, yeah, you know, whatever. But when you're in the real game, you're like, oh, look at that bamboozle right there. Hit him with the switch up. He didn't know what was going on. He didn't even see me. But when you're in a real fight, like your heart races, you know, a little bit, your adrenaline gets pumping, and you're kind of like, I could die at any minute. If I fought these bots the way that you would fight bots because they're a little dense, I wouldn't feel that at all. And I'm trying to mirror real gameplay without having to go into a game, drop in, die, reload out, and then load back in. This, if I die, I load back up to the top and can try again. Then that's the whole premise of Getting Good, is figuring out how to do everything with these guns and how to be better with every gun and every legend and every attachment. And that's what we're going to be doing throughout this series. So if you guys do like this series and you want to see me continue doing it, please give the video a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing to the channel to help support growth on this channel. If you guys have any questions, you can put them in the comments below, or if you have a suggestion for how I can do better training, or other things you want to see me add into the video, or focus on in the video, go ahead and leave that in a comment below. If you have any questions, you can also hop into my stream. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday over on Twitch. That's real_Cero. So twitch.tv/real_Cero. And I'm live there every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday night. These videos go up live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's supposed to be by 9 a.m. This video is going to be late because, like I said, all of my footage was corrupt last night. So I ended up not being able to edit it last night and had to pick up and try to piece together some stuff. Look at this bamboozle right here. He didn't even know what hit him, and then I missed shots. So that shows you can have an awesome move like that little 360, 520, 720, 580 grapple and miss shots and be just kind of left to fend for yourself. So don't choke shots, guys. Come in here, fire off as many rounds as you need to, and just add it. That's what I'm going to continue to do. I haven't quite figured out what the next gun is going to be, and I have to figure that out quickly because I'm actually going to be recording that episode in 3 hours from now. So thank you, everybody, for your support with the Twitch channel. Thank you guys for your support coming over here and watching my YouTube videos. I'm going to try to make these a lot more lively, and I'm also going to try to figure out what the heck is going on with my Elgato capture card, why it's dropping frames and stuff, because I've had to edit out kind of a lot of good stuff. Here I'm going to die, and I'm going to rage quit, because that's what I call it when I finish it, is once I realize, okay, it's time to end, I'm going to rage quit right here. Rage quit incoming in 3, 2, 1. All right, so here's the statistics. Bullets fired, 3,328 approximately. Hours spent on this, 2. It actually became 2.5 because I did another half hour this morning, and bots killed 126.